Hi guys, it's Beth. Welcome to my channel. I wanted to share with you what I made. I used up the Celebrate Easter collection from Echo Park. It was the 12 by 12 collection kit, and like I used up every bit of paper. Like I even used up the cover sheet because it had cut aparts on the back. So this is what I have left to tell me that this is what I used and what I made. And this is the empty sticker sheet. So when I first started this collection, I made the March 2021 sheet load of sketch, and I have I think 12 cards, and so this is what I started the collection with. And then I knew I wanted to make some Easter layouts for our albums, and I did have some of the Celebrate Easter bow paper clips as well. So I've used those in a couple different places, but this one, the photos aren't necessarily the greatest, but I liked what they were showing, so I did go ahead and use kind of a semi-blurry photos here. But anyway, this one was around Easter time. We had some friends over and they were playing, and I just loved how Ellie was laughing. And then they put bunny ears on Macy. So I went ahead and did this as an Easter layout and used a couple different patterns of the paper and then several of the stickers. And then these little flowers were actually what I had made using the 6x6 pad that I used for Smash That Small pad. When I had some of the scraps left over, I just turned them into some embellishments. So that was one layout that I did. And then I have a 2-page layout for Easter for one of my daughters. This one is Avery's. And so here I used I guess on each page I used 2 3-inch strips. And so like if you were to look at them together, like the strips would be going continuous across both pages. And then here I just used the Happy Easter stickers as my title, and then kind of framed it a little bit using this border sticker that was on the sticker sheet. And then I brought in one of the bows that was from that pack. And I tend to take the bows off the paper clips and just use them more as an embellishment than as sticking onto the page. So again, I used a good amount of stickers throughout this layout as well. Here is actually that may have been, maybe that was my page, because here's Ellie's, and this is a single page, and this is Easter 2014. I don't think I said that because, I'm still working on 2014 photos. So here I actually used a cut apart as my sticker, as my title, not my sticker. And then I did I added one of those bows just to kind of dress it up a little bit more. Again, using 2 different patterns and then a bunch of stickers. And then I had some enamel dots left from, they actually go with one of the spring collections, but the colors, worked pretty well here too. So I did bring in some of the enamel dots on this page as well. And then one last page, this one is Avery's, and I used a sticker as my title on this one, but kind of the same general layout as Ellie's, just since it has different pictures, things were kind of in different spots. Here's another one of the bows that I pulled in. And then I don't think I noticed this, I didn't note this on Ellie's, but there was a cut apart that had a big carrot on one part and then had this area for journaling on the other. So I cut the carrot out and just used the notes part so that I could add journaling on these 2 layouts. And I thought I had brought the carrot in. I did. So these 2 big carrots down here on the bottom of this layout were actually what I had cut out from the journal cards here. So I made sure to use those as well. So 4 different layout, 5 different pages, which was good. And then something a little bit different, I used 2 of the cut aparts to make some decorative blocks for Easter. If you followed me for a while, you know we have a business that makes decorative blocks, and a lot of our holiday blocks are reversible. So I used the Easter chick cut apart from the Celebrate Easter collection, and then I also have the spring collection, like the 12 by 12 collection that I'm working on now. And so I pulled one of the 3x4 cut aparts from it for the spring side. So this just says spring flowers bring May, spring showers bring May flowers. So got 2 little decorative blocks out of that as well. And then I moved on to some more cards. So I did use sketches quite a bit. That's, you know, again, if you follow me, you know that I love to use sketches. And all of the sketches I used will be linked in the description box below. This is a sketch from Robin's craft room. And this was just a sticker from the sticker sheet. It was already the circle element with the scallop border. And then, so I had cut the green polka dot papers down to be card mats, like 3x4 card mats, and used those as much as I could. And then I just brought in the other, like a multi polka dot paper, and then just used some of the smaller flower stickers to kind of embellish and add some color to the top of the card. This one, I again went back to the sheet load sketch for March, and when I had cut out my scalloped circles for the sheet load, I actually cut out a smaller scallop from inside this bigger one and figured I could use them somewhere. And so when I decided to use this, I was like, well, I might as well just go ahead and reuse the sheet load sketch. So I added a sticker to it and then felt like it needed something else. So I did back it on a white circle as well. And then added my carrot here as the decorative piece. And then I used one of the border stickers to go across the center of my card. So it's not necessarily a sheet load leftover, it's just a sheet load made with random parts. This is another sketch from Robin's craft room, and uses a cut apart and then just a strip of paper over here. And then I did also bring in some little white vinyl circle dots that I have in my stash. And on the insides of the cards, I have used scraps, you know, as usual, or some of the stickers. There are a couple cards where I did use stickers on the inside to use them up. This is Operation Right Home, sketch number 93. Just took 2 of the cut aparts. This Easter basket cut apart, and then this was another journal card behind it. And so I just used the orange to kind of help the Easter basket cut apart pop a little bit. And then it said Easter basket at the bottom, and so I just covered that up with Happy Easter sentiment. Felt that was made a little more sense to me than just having one that said Easter basket. So these were 2 cut aparts that I decided I could make them non-Eastery. So they had the flowers. I just took 2 of the tear strips from the bottom of the pad and cut them down. So like these don't go all the way across because, you know, the tear strips aren't like this. Green dot paper is 4 inches. So to go all the way across for 2 pieces, I would have needed 8 inches. Well, you don't get that on the tear strip at the bottom of the Echo Park sheets. And so I took, I think it's like 6 or 7, maybe, I don't know. But I just took the strip, cut it in half, and then cut each of those pieces in half. So these are like in fourths, and you just can't tell because the cut apart hides it. So I also, when I was cutting down the cardstock to make my scallop circles for the sheet loads at the beginning of the month, I used the rest of the paper that I had and die cut some words. And so I used hello on these 2. And then I also came in with some glitter Nouveau drops and just added some centers to the flowers and then a few other Nouveau drops around Used another cut apart here. This one time I used a sticker that says it's Easter time again, kind of as a sentiment. Felt like it needed something else, and so I did bring in a yellow bow made out of some really thin yellow ribbon. This is Operation Ride Home sketch number 82. So you can tell I pulled a lot of sketches that use like a 3x4 cut apart size. This one says you're sweeter than jelly beans, so I figured this could be used sometime other than Easter. And I actually took another cut apart that I didn't think I'd use. I don't remember what was on that cut apart, but I just used the back side, which is like the little multicolored pastel plaid, to go behind the cut apart, and then brought in some more white dots. This one I didn't have a sketch. I just used some cardstock as a mat. And then this was a sticker on the sticker sheet, and I just backed it on some of that pretty pink with the flowers. And then I had a stamp in my stash that I believe was Sunny Studios, and it said thank you, so I just embossed that because I thought that was a cute play on the little sheep, also known as a U. This was a cut apart that said Easter Bunny at the bottom. I just trimmed it down to cut off Easter Bunny and backed it on some white cardstock, and then brought in, it's an Echo Park stamp set. I should have brought it over, but it's an Easter stamp set. May have been Celebrate Easter, I don't know. But it says you are somebody special. And so again, I thought that would make it kind of non-Eastery, just about a bunny. Here I decided to make a little scene. I took some of that green polka dot paper, put it at the bottom, pulled in the tree sticker, and then all these cute little chick stickers. And then there was this yellow flower that I decided to make kind of like my sun. And then there was a stamp on that Echo Park stamp set that says, you are such a cool peep. So I think this is one of my favorite cards, just kind of fun and punny. You know, I love puns. This is my favorite thing, number 181, and I made a bunch of these. These are just hello cards, and they're using kind of the scallop circle that I cut out of the insides of the bigger scallop circle when I was cutting for sheet load. And I just have a hello sentiment. And I have 6 of those. Because at the end I had like the full sheet of this paper with the kind of swirls on it that I was trying to find a way to use up. So here are 2 more of the thank you cards. This time I used a cut apart. And even though it has like Happy Easter and Bunny, I could probably get away with using it sometime other than Easter, because with all the different words, you don't necessarily, unless you're sitting here reading all the words in the background, you wouldn't necessarily notice the Easter. So again, I just used thank you as the sentiment. These, I believe these were a sheet load from 2019, maybe? I don't know. It's just a Z-fold card, and I always like using them if I have the cut aparts, just because it's just kind of something different than your normal, you know, A2 standard card, even though it's still A2 size. So I just used the cut apart, backed it on some cardstock since, you know, it was reversible. And then I used some like Easter egg paper there, and then used this cross paper on the outside, and then I do have white paper on the inside there. So I have 2 of those. This one was kind of towards the end. I had scraps left, and then I was kind of cleaning up, kind of organizing my scraps, and found out that I had 1 more of these cut aparts, the 3x4 cut aparts left. So I just decided to go ahead and use it on the card. So I have 2 smaller pieces of the egg pattern, and then I've covered, because like they don't quite meet, like there was actually a pretty good size gap. So I just covered the gap with a piece of yellow cardstock that's like the same width as the 2 patterned pieces. So it just looks like it's, you know, like I had intended it to be that way from the beginning. Here is my favorite thing, sketch number 352. And I have 3 of these. They're kind of the same. They just have, 2 of them have different pattern here. So this was the last little layered flower that I had made from my 6x6 Easter pad. And then here's another word that I had die cut when I was cutting for the sheet load cards. And so I just decided to make that my sentiment. This one is a flower. I kind of decided to use some of the scraps and go ahead and make some new layered flowers because I did like how it looked on these cards. So these two use the polka dot patterned paper and then the different layered flowers. And then I have 3 cards that are the same layout. These are smaller pieces that I put down and covered the gap with some pink cardstock, and then I had like one strip of this little aqua pattern left, and was using, whatever colored card mat I had left at the time, and then just pulled in a pink scalloped circle that I punched from cardstock. And all of the cardstock pieces that I die cut from or used were like scraps from my scrap bin, since I was still working on using that through the month of March. And then here was like the final card I had made, and this used up all of the remaining like tear strip pieces that I had, as well as some other strips that I had left, and I had some stickers left as well. So I just kind of pulled in 2 of the flower stickers and just saying hello sentiment, and then put glue on a piece of cardstock that was 5 3/8 by 4 1/8, and then just started laying my strips down. And then I did bring in some cardstock strips that I had on my desk as well. So a fun strip card. And here's one of those where I just used one of the flower stickers that I had left. So all in all, I got 5 12 by 12 scrapbook pages, 43 cards in the 2 blocks. And I will pull all these in here. And then I did have some little scraps left. And so I made another one of these little strip flowers, which I shared originally in my, I think, Smash Your Stash video from March, when I was focusing on using scraps. So 2 of the strips were actually part of the pad that, again, I found kind of at the end. And then the rest of these were just some cardstock strips that I had left from what I had used. And so I just brought in a scalloped circle and, some different size flowers that were from my scrap box. This was a little daisy sticker that I didn't use, and I decided it would look good on one of those little scalloped circles that I had cut at the beginning of the month, and I figured I could use that on something in the future. And then I made a couple more layered flowers just with some scrap cardstock and some of the smaller scrap pieces that I had left. So again, I'm working on the spring collection now, and again, the colors kind of all coordinate, even though the patterns might be different. So I'm just gonna kind of take these and just kind of carry them all forward. And I think there was a tag left from my 6x6 Easter collection that I didn't use on it was from the 6x6 pad, and I didn't use it with the collection, so I also moved it forward to the spring collection as well. So it's kind of nice that all of the Echo Park collections they're different patterns for different events, but the colors all work together, so you could combine them. So that's kind of nice. So I will probably throw these in with my spring collection as well. And like I said, I was using the spring enamel dots on the Easter collection, so I love that it all coordinates. But anyway, another collection down, and I just wanted to share what all I had made with that. It is Easter weekend, so that's why I wanted to get this out to you guys. I hope everyone has a very blessed Easter and gets to see a little more family than you did last year at Easter. Hope that everyone, that the weather's nice for everyone, and that you get to see some family, since last year we were all kind of we were hunkered down due to COVID. And yeah, so anyway, happy Easter. Again, I will link the card sketches below. Thank you guys so much for your time, and I hope you all have a very crafty and blessed weekend.